From Careco TV, one of the longest running outdoor programs on television today. Exploring the country and the coast in search of adventure. From the mountains of the Great Northwest to the shores of the Atlantic Ocean, this is Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin. This week on Americana Outdoors, we're chasing big bass in East Texas while facing changing and challenging weather conditions. We'll check in at Sam Rayburn Reservoir with Will and Cody. We'll look in on the Texas Team Trail, and we'll kick off with Americana Outdoors' Clark Wendlandt. It's late January, and typically the bass are on their way to the shallow water for the spawn. But a strong cold front has blown through, dropping the water temperature back into the low 50s, with it drawing the bass back to deeper water. How do you get a grasp on changing conditions? We'll get on the water with an expert. Here's Clark Wendlandt.
You know, I'm fishing a lake. I'm fishing a small lake that I've never fished before. And what I typically do, I get there, I notice there was coots on the water, I know there's a lot of grass. As soon as I put it in, I start my 1040 XS and I'm looking at my graph. And as I idle, what I'm noticing is a lot of grass. Typically, early season, pre-spawn, those fish are gonna be up over the top of the grass. And so as I just idle around, I'm gonna idle around for a bit before I even fish and just kind of see how high that grass actually grows. That'll give me an idea how deep a bait I need to throw. And I have any idea what I'm gonna catch them on, but this is where I start. So I've spent time idling around this lake. Never been here before, and the time of year it is, water temperature's mid-50s. And so what I think is that those fish are probably gonna be kind of near the outside edge. Now there may be plenty of fish up higher in that grass, farther out in the grass, but they may be smaller. But hey, fishing a new lake's just totally trial and error. You just get out there, you spend some time on the outside edge, you spend some time up over the top of the grass, you go up on the inside edge. You may even hit the bank and go flipping. It's not rocket science. What it is just trial and error. Get out there, throw, and if you get a bite, let it tell you something. That's the second bite I've had on that swim bait. He hit it, he popped it, and I thought it started loading up, but it didn't. The great thing about grass is it usually makes the lake better. That's almost always the case. The lake's always better if it's got some kind of cover, some kind of aquatic vegetation. But the other thing is for me, when I get to a new lake, it just makes my learning curve so much less. And because all I know is if there's grass, there's gonna be a lot of bass around it. It may not be the best way to fish, but there's a good chance it is the best way, and there's always gonna be some around it. There's one. Oh, that's a good feeling fish right there. Now, I've had 3, maybe 4 bites in a row. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Look at that fish, he can't even jump. He's so lethargic, he just ate that thing. Look at this bait so far down in his face. Oh. Oh my gosh. Now I was sitting there just talking about the fact that those could be good fish. You know, I'm getting a bite, I get a little tick, I get another little tick, and man, look at the size of that fish. Now, that's probably a 6-pounder. I mean, just a big fish in a small lake, East Texas, and there's grass. I'm over the top of the grass, picked up a swim bait. Oh, that is too awesome right there. Man, that bite was just like the other ones. I probably had 4 now, and I'm just reeling that thing real slow. I'm over the top of the grass. I can see the grass down there. The top of the grass is anywhere from 12 to 8 feet down. And so I'm having to wind, I'm throwing a 3/4 ounce swim bait, just reeling it real slow. And that one loaded up and I could tell there was one there. Let's get another one.
Coming up, we've got more Fishing with Clark.
Gosh, that's a heavy fish.
And later, we'll check in on one of the top amateur tournament trails in the country. The Texas Team Trail, presented by Cabela's. Take your fishing to the next level with Garmin technology. Check out the Garmin Echo Map or the GPS Map series for the serious fisherman. Find it all at Garmin.com.
Hey guys, we're here with the Bubble Blade hunting knife. It's a great new piece of steel from Bubble Blade. You can use it as a long knife, cutting or deboning type knife. You can shorten it up for your more delicate skinning type work when you're processing deer, hog, whatever you've killed that day. And the best thing about it is this is a no slip grip. No matter how wet or greasy the sucker gets, you're not gonna slip on this blade.
It is razor sharp. It's the cure-all for knives. I mean, it really is. Whether it's deer, fish, I mean, I don't know how many fish I've filleted with one of these. I carry one in my boat. I carry one in my backpack. I mean, everywhere I go, if it's gonna have to do with the outdoors, I've got a Bubble Blade.
After your next successful deer hunt, savor the flavor with a Bradley Smoker. They have a whole list of creative recipes for venison with a wide variety of delicious smoky wood flavors. Find out more about making your meal as memorable as the hunt at bradleysmoker.com.
The Alaskan Series Cooler Packs by Arctic Ice. Specifically designed to keep your food and drinks cold all day long without having to use ice and end up with a soggy lunch. The Alaskan Series by Arctic Ice. Bitterly cold.
Americana Outdoors is brought to you by Garmin and the power of simple. By Cabela's, it's in your nature. And by Power Pole Shallow Water Anchor. Welcome back to the show. We're in East Texas chasing pre-spawn bass with Americana Outdoors' Clark Wendlandt. Though they were moving shallow earlier in the week, a strong cold front has the fish in deeper water, actively feeding over the flats as the day warms.
Now that's 2 bites and 2 casts right there. Look at the fat belly on that dude. Gosh, that's a heavy fish.
It's late winter and the bass are on the move. It's easy to get overwhelmed with the variety of tackle needed to chase fish this time of year. So to help you out with that, we'll head to Cabela's, where Clark can offer some insight on picking the right rod for the pattern.
You know, when I'm picking a rod for the springtime, I'm usually thinking something winding. At Sam Rayburn, it's gonna be shallow grass more than likely, so something coming up over that. Spinnerbait swim jig rod is to me the kind of action you want. It's a medium heavy action. It has a little bit of give to it. It's not a flipping rod, but I'm not thinking I'm gonna be flipping. I think I'm gonna be winding something up over that grass because those fish are gonna move up over the tops and edges of that grass to actually, you know, they're trying to get a little bit warmer, and they're gorging themselves on either shad or crawfish, and it's just that time of year. So I'm winding the baits, usually slowly. Something with a little slower action seems to work a little bit better. You know, we've gone a little bit without a bite and kind of come down the edge of that flat, grass kind of scattered, and a lot, I don't really know what's here. You know, where we started out, it was deep right out from the grass, and here it just seems kind of more flat and shallow. So what I'm gonna do is sit down, look at my 1040 XS and see if I can't figure out exactly if there's like a ditch out there, a little bit deeper water, kind of what the grass does. And that way it'll just cut my time down. I kind of know what I'm looking for. I'm just gonna see if I can find it. That right there to me looks like a little ditch. And so East Texas, anywhere you are, ditches are key. And so I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna see if that looks more like a ditch, then we'll end up fishing kind of over the edge of that right there. If you get a little cold snap, something cold, they'll move back off to those ditches. And so they'll stage in the ditches and move up to spawn. You gotta kind of figure out what part of the lake they're in. It's a great time of year. You can catch really big fish, but you have to be ready for the changing conditions. That's a good one there. Oh, those fish just don't have, they got zero fight left in them. Now look, I barely did hook that one. And I've been missing some of these fish. That's a good one right there. I've missed some of them, and I mean, the one right before this, about 2 casts before, I hooked him for just a second, and I have a feeling it was just barely in the skin of the mouth. But that's a good one right there. Fatty. And what we did is we circled back to a place that I'd had 2 or 3 bites at earlier. I didn't catch a single one of them. Had that bite, 2 casts later, catch that one.
Coming up, we'll head to Sam Rayburn Reservoir, where we'll check in with Will and Cody, right here on Americana Outdoors. And here is the Ranger Boats question of the week. For the answer, visit mydreamrig.com. Since 1976, Delta Ag has been an industry leader in plant health and nutrition. With our innovative concept and chemistry, Delta Ag produces healthier crops and improves yields. We formulate biostimulants and micronutrients designed to improve fertilizer efficiency and increase crop response to nutrients. Make your fertilizer go further with reliable products that work. Grow healthier crops from the ground up with versatile low-rate products. Delta Ag, improving plant performance.
Since 1996, Frog Togs outerwear have kept outdoorsmen warm and dry, even in the worst of conditions. Now, Frog Togs have expanded beyond hunting and fishing markets and revolutionized the industry with their patented fabric system. Frog Togs are extremely lightweight and portable. They pack easily in your car, boat, RV, and even on your motorcycle. Best of all, Frog Togs are 100% waterproof and windproof, and yet extremely breathable. Check us out online at frogtogs.com. Frog Togs, stop the rain.
What if there was a camera that went where you went and shot what you shot? An action camera so easy to use you can concentrate on your hunt, not the hunt for the record button. A camera that let you add dimensions to your video, like speed, altitude, or even your heart rate, just before you let it fly. Life, camera, action. The Verb Elite HD Action Camera from Garmin.
When it comes to racing big deer, Purina is the leader in deer nutrition research. Our Antler Max research and development team is committed to developing products that provide results in your deer management program with a difference you can see. If you're ready to take your deer operation to the next level, look no further than Purina's new and improved Antler Max premium deer feeds. You can find them at your local Purina retailer. Purina Antler Max Premium Deer Feed, a difference you can see.
After all my years of searching, I finally busted the myth of the Yeti! The Engel High Performance Cooler, it's incredible! Just look at this lid, what a powerhouse! It's so freaking strong, so reliable, I just wanna boom! This silicone gasket's better than rubber!
Why, hello there. Are your base and sidewalls way thicker for superior insulation?
Oh, yes! After 10 days, still cold, still fresh. Let's see a Yeti do that. With Engel coolers, it's official. The Yeti is busted.
Experience high-vis, a brighter sight picture than standard sights, giving you an immediate, more successful shooting performance. High-vis lets you see a dramatic contrast between the target and the barrel for a more intuitive aim that delivers instant results. Our light pipes come in a variety of shapes, sizes, and colors, designed to be seen in a variety of conditions. With our broad line of sights, you'll see your marksmanship dramatically improve, bringing more fun and confidence into every shooting experience. Shoot more accurately. Enjoy the sport. Choose high-vis.
Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin, is also brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Yamaha Marine, reliability starts here. And by Arctic Ice Chillin' Brew.
All right, well, we're out here at Sam Rayburn today. We're about to go head out, try and find some fish. We're gonna see how the rattle trap bite is doing out there over the grass. And right now we know that it's pretty hard to find the fish, but once you come across a big group of them, it can be cast to cast, catching fish right at one after the other. So we're gonna go out today and see if we can whack them and see what we can do.
If I'm going to Rayburn, I'm gonna just kind of have an idea in my mind. We're talking about shallow grass at Rayburn. So I'm gonna be thinking, okay, I'm gonna be throwing lipless crankbaits. How quick are they gonna be moving up? Is there bushes in the water? Is the grass kind of shallow? So I'm gonna have a variety of springtime techniques, but a lot of rods on the deck because when I get there, I have no idea what's gonna work. So I'll be using a lot of different techniques. Once I dial something in, then hopefully you can figure out a pattern.
You know, I think a lot of times you got to fish your strength, but you got to have an open mind, especially this time of year with the fish moving the way they are. If you're not getting bit, doing what you're doing, and especially if you're fishing out deep, man, don't be afraid to go to the bank, try something different, because the fish are moving. Literally, I think they're moving every hour this time of year.
This is exciting to me, getting to fish a new lake, getting to experience something new. I love trying to figure fish out. It's always a challenge. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Today, I feel it, we're gonna win, and we're gonna catch some big ones today. I'm excited. Today we're at Sam Rayburn. This is my first time out on this lake, so it's always a good experience to try something new, learn something new about fishing and how fish react. So I'm pumped and had a good day of fishing today. Probably for the first 45 minutes in the morning, we were throwing traps, and we weren't really getting the reaction bites that we were looking for. So Will decides to change it up a little bit and throw a spinnerbait.
I love fishing a lot of different ways, but one of my favorite ways to fish is exactly like how we did today. We were fishing in the 4 to 10 foot range and just throwing spinnerbaits up into some grass and thick cover and just letting that spinnerbait work and just hit off the cover and waiting for that fish to come over and just ambush that bait. We were slow rolling them. We were just letting it go through the grass, and sometimes we'd rip it out of the grass, and as that bait was falling back down, they would strike, and it was just a subtle bite. They weren't really attacking the bait too strong, but whenever you felt that subtle bite, you knew you had a fish on, you set the hook, and we caught quite a few fish like that today. It was a lot of fun. First one of the day. Good little spinnerbait. He's green, a little chunky guy. Let's go get some more of those.
So we went in and we thought that the first thing to do would be fish the pockets. But we didn't get any bites in the pockets, so we'd move to the points, which is where we got all our fish, which is right on those wind-blown points where all that grass just came out in a finger.
There we go. Got one.
Yep. All right, I guess it's time to put a spinnerbait on.
There's a good little guy right here.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, that's a good one right here.
Come here.
Oh.
Nice
There.
fish.
That's a good one right there. I think we're on to something now.
I think we're on to something now.
The biggest fish we had of the day is 3.5 pounds, maybe four, but it was a good fish. Put up a good fight. All right, well, we just got our second fish in the boat. And right now we're just using spinner baits and just coming over the top of the grass. I think we're starting to get on a pattern. There's a little bit of wind today, so that helps out with the spinnerbait bite a little bit. And, I mean, I think right now these fish are pretty scattered and we're just kind of roaming the banks looking for them. And as soon as we rip it through the grass, if one's waiting there, they just kind of come up and rip it.
When we were slow rolling those things, whenever we'd hook one, it'd feel like we'd just get a clump of grass on there. We did not, you had to kind of let it fight you before you actually knew you had one on. So it was tricky to figure that out just because the grass is so thick, which is awesome. We love fishing grass, but that hay grass will really get in there, but the bass are also in there. So you gotta really pay attention and focus on what the bite is versus what the grass is.
Get out of there. Shoot, sorry. There you go.
There we go. Oh, it was a great day out on the water. You couldn't ask for much more. We didn't have a ton of time out there, but the time we did have was just awesome experience and awesome to fish a lake I've never fished before and still catch them. And I had a good time fishing with Will. We always have a good time, so to be able to do what we love, it was just an awesome day. So, right there. She's also pretty fat. I think these are pre-spawn fish getting ready to come up, and they're getting shallow, but a good fish, and that's fun right there.
Coming up next on Americana Outdoors, we'll take a look at a bass trail as big as the state of Texas.
How about that?
Now, before you head out on the water, check out Cabela's for the gear you'll need. From rods and reels to quality Cabela's guide wear. You can find it all online at Cabela's.com.
Yamaha Viking, and introducing the all-new Viking 6. The hardest working, most off-road capable side-by-sides in America. Built for the hardest working people on earth. You.
When you change the game, you make the rules. Introducing the all-new Stealth SS from 10 Point, the most compact crossbow we've ever created. 10 Point, there is no substitute.
When I'm not hunting, I'm thinking about hunting. It's on my mind because it's in my blood. When the hunt calls, my TC Venture points the way. Accurate, reliable, proven. Until there's no more ground to cover and no more stories to tell. When you're a TC Venture hunter, the hunt never ends.
Julie Golaski, Smith & Wesson Consumer Program Manager and World Champion Shooter.
Joe Zanetti, Smith & Wesson Finishing Specialist and lifelong hunter.
Jim Dalton, Smith & Wesson Master Gunsmith. I shoot competitively, and so does my son.
Our people, our products, our passion. Smith & Wesson.
Stealth Cam gives you the edge on the most elusive bucks. Capture high-res stills, HD audio and video, or time-lapse imagery. Nothing escapes our sub-1 second trigger with our advanced multi-zone detection grid. With our energy-efficient design, one set of batteries will last up to a full year. Retina low-light sensitivity captures stunning nighttime imagery out to 100 feet. Get all the latest technology in our new G series of scouting cameras. The next generation of Stealth Cam has arrived, delivering technologies you need every hunting season.
Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin, is also brought to you by Hobie Kayaks, by Sunline Premium Fishing Line, and by Bradley Smokers. Add some Bradley to your adventure.
We're at Sam Rayburn Reservoir here in Texas. Basically, we're at the TXTT first stop.
This is the Texas Team Trail presented by Cabela's, one of the top amateur team bass trails in the nation.
You know, our tournaments in New Mexico have really declined. You know, we're getting like 30 teams, you know, in our tournaments, so this is very exciting.
The Texas Team Trail presented by Cabela's is drawing some of the best amateur teams from across the country to compete for huge payouts and one of the best sponsored contingency programs in the industry.
This is so different than what we do in Arizona. There's so much great sponsorship out here in Texas that that's what makes it worth coming out here. When we came out 2 years ago, they were just really surprised. We kept coming back to every tournament, but the support for these tournaments is just off the board. And so it's just worth coming to. You can pick up a lot of extra cash just by using good equipment.
I like the payouts, I like the people. We love the trail, loved how it was ran, so we got out here and been fishing it ever since.
Get the net, it's a good one.
Well, taking a quick look at on-the-water coverage, Larry Bird and Dave Bushnell are making the most out of their day on the water.
Larry.
Come get him in.
With a total purse at this event worth nearly $130,000, including a fully rigged Ranger bass boat for first, the Texas Team Trail presented by Cabela's has the feel of a professional event. The trail will fish 4 regular season one-day tournaments with a 2-day championship on Toledo Bend in early summer. You can find out more at TexasTeamTrail.com.
We're calling these size.
Oh, good.
While we're heading back to weigh-in at Umphrey Pavilion, it was clear that Sam Rayburn delivered for this field of nearly 300 teams.
We had 2481. I watched this boy literally just murder the fish today. He caught fish after fish after fish after fish after fish today. Best down the water he's ever had in his life.
Robert and Jackson Case finished out the day in 5th place.
How about that?
Dylan Lee and Gilbert Harold picked up the Cabela's Big Bass Award and $1,500. It took 24 pounds to just break into the top 5. At the end of the day, it was the team of Corey Rambo and Rusty Clark standing on top.
What are we looking for the lead? 25. Here we go. We got a new leader. 29.77. Congratulations, guys. Great job.
You know, you got the best fishermen, and it come from all over to fish this tournament. And if we can compete with those guys, you know, it makes you feel good that at the end of the day, when you can compete and you know, contend with these guys.
To find out more about the Texas Team Trail presented by Cabela's, visit TexasTeamTrail.com. Hey, if you'd like to see complete episodes of the Texas Team Trail, you can find the entire library at AmericanaOutdoors.com. Just click on the fishing videos. Well, that does it for this week's episode, and as always, thanks to our sponsors for helping to make this show possible. If you're in the market for new gear, please support those that support us. Americana Outdoors is a Careco TV production. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.